Yo, 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 what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that other good shit. A lot of people have called me and was talking about clarity, and what's the plan to fix the American Bully breed? And I'm gonna tell you, to make everything clear and to make everything exact, the first thing we do have to do is get some clarity about what the breed is supposed to be. I think the registries and some of the people who have been in a position of power have misinformed a lot of people with this talk and the process of evolution. There is no evolution. We are supposed to be refining the dogs. Evolution comes from something that's already stable, and we haven't even been stable. As you see, I'm looking at the screen. This shirt I have on, as you see the outline of the dog that's on there, it's a very thick dog. Believe it or not, you can tell by how beat up this shirt is. This shirt is like, I believe, like now 16, 17 years old. And it's always been the same thing. You know what I mean? The dog is supposed to look like a pit bull on steroids. Very, very, very thick, very muscular. None of that is taken away. But it's not supposed to look like a bulldog. I've said Pokemon, the bear, Denzel, Bistro, of course, Mufasa, all great examples of an American bullies. And there are others out there. But the one thing that we cannot sacrifice, you know what I mean, at all is the overall substance and structure of the dog. Once we throw that away to try to allow in other things, we're going to lose the breed. This dog is not supposed to be a bulldog at all. And we will never have an actual breed until we define ourselves to not being a bulldog. We should never be confused with an American bulldog. We should never be confused with an English bulldog or a French bulldog. And to allow those things in, to allow, Miyagi blood and to allow other dogs that we know are flat out mixed in with other breeds into our dogs, to allow dogs that just don't fit the standard because they're popular, and to not properly police the community is the reason that these dogs are screwed up. The ultimate plan is, and that's why we went as far as to see about drug testing, is that we don't want anything that's cheating the breed. We don't want anything that's going to diminish what it is that we're trying to do as a community. We need to DNA test everything. That's a must. We have to DNA test everything. Everything has to be DNA tested. Everything. That way we don't have to do now what we were doing 15 years ago. Well, what's in that dog? I wonder, did they hang papers? I wonder, did they did this? If it would have been taken up years ago, like I was saying years ago, and y'all can look back on this video, like 8 or 9 years ago, I was still talking about DNA testing then. If every single dog was DNA tested those years ago, a lot of the dogs that y'all see today wouldn't even exist. They wouldn't exist at all, because we know they're flat out lies, and they're a bunch of mixed breeds and different things like that. If we had the steroid testing implemented, it would have been a lot of dogs who would have been kicked out of the ring for using, additives and tricking people into using their dogs when their dogs really don't look like that, and it's impossible for them to produce that. These are all things that we have to take into consideration. Now, the last but not least, and of course definitely, is the thing we have to have is judges who are going to have not only the credentials and the ability to point out the flaws and the issues with certain dogs, but also they have they have the morals to stick to those picks. You know what I mean? To not be swayed by money, to not be swayed by popularity or their opinions. Basically what they're doing is, it's the dog versus the standard, not dog versus dog, not whose dog is this, any of that. It's dog versus the standard, and it's going to take a while because we have a lot of cleaning up to do. But as we go forward, the one thing about it, hey, you shut up over there. But as we go about this thing, the one thing that we will have to do, and we'll do it continuously, is we have to stay on top of it. Some people will get butt hurt. Some people will get in their feelings about whatever's going on. But it's about the dogs. It's not about me. It's not about, whoever. It's about making sure that the breed gets to where it needs to be and we can move forward in a positive way. Right now, nothing is positive about this breed because our dogs look like absolute shit. We need athletic freight trains that can move and that can do their thing. And, we can't continue to have people putting out a bad product. It's just that simple. We need to move forward in a strong way to make sure that we are pushing our breed forward in a strong way. If we are not pushing our breed forward in a strong way, it's time to stop it. Now we're up to the point of past 20 years and we still don't have a stable identity as to what the dogs is. And that's where you start off. Your identity is right where you start off. You know, you start off with the blueprint of what you're supposed to have, which is our standard, and you build on that and perfect it. We haven't been able to build and perfect because we continuously change. I mean, now we have an epidemic of long back dogs, high rear dogs, dogs that have breathing issues, dogs that have hip issues, heart issues. Some dogs look like bulldogs. Some dogs look more terrier. After 20 years, if this is the best that we could do, a lot of motherfuckers don't need to be breeding. Y'all excuse my language, but people just need to chill out. If that's the best you can do, you need to chill out. But the one thing that we're going to do, and it's been a slow process, but we are getting it together, you know. New Jersey coming up next month, and we starting our run over there. And we're going to fix this, man. You know, we're not trying to make friends, but we're going to fix this. Our dogs will, I guarantee you, our dogs will be respectable dogs. We are not picking train wreck dogs. Our judges will be respectable judges, and they're going to come through with some good quality animals. With all that being said, man, you know, rules. I recommend it in y'all own yards. Y'all implement these rules. Only the best. Because if you keep on taking only the best and you don't settle for less, you'll end up with a very, very good situation in the long run. Once again, I thank all y'all for y'all support over this last little month or so. That's been very, very rough for me. But you know, God is good and we will always find a way. If anybody's going through anything, I tell y'all, as I always end all the other lives is, man, I'm saying a prayer for all y'all too, man. Stay in high spirits, keep grinding, keep pushing, and let's get this thing going. Much love. Peace.